Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I've got some huge news today that's sure to make your 2025 start on a high note. That's right, the IRS has just approved a $1,400 stimulus check. So, if you're sitting there wondering if this is real or just another rumor, don't worry, it's official, and it's happening. We're talking about $1,400 per person, and that's not all. This new wave of financial relief is part of the 2025 Economic Recovery Act, designed to help Americans bounce back from the lingering financial effects of the past few years. Now, before you go running to the bank or checking your mailbox, stick with me because today, we're going to break down exactly how much you'll be getting, when you'll get it, and most importantly, who qualifies for this stimulus check. Plus, I'll walk you through all the details so you don't miss out on your share of the relief. So if you want the latest updates on the 2025 stimulus check, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let's dive right into it. You definitely don't want to miss this. Let's start with some background. Why is the IRS rolling out this $1,400 stimulus check? We all know how hard the last few years have been for so many people. From the pandemic to rising costs of living, the middle class has felt the financial strain more than ever. Even as the economy recovers, it's not enough to keep pace with inflation and other ongoing challenges. Many families are still struggling with the high costs of things like gas, groceries, and rent, so this stimulus check is designed to provide immediate relief to those who need it most. The 2025 Economic Recovery Act is the government's way of ensuring that financial recovery continues, and the stimulus payment is a big part of that. It's not just about boosting the economy. This payment is meant to ease some of the financial burdens Americans are still facing. Now, let's talk about the $1,400 figure. This amount is the baseline for most individuals who meet the eligibility requirements. If you qualify, you'll be receiving $1,400 in direct deposit or paper check, just like the previous rounds of stimulus payments. This is not a loan or an advance on your taxes. This is free money that you do not have to pay back. It's meant to give you some breathing room, whether you need to catch up on bills, cover unexpected expenses, or just get through another tough month. It's like the government saying, "Hey, we see you, and we're here to help." So, when can you expect to see the money? That's a question on everyone's mind. The good news is that if you're eligible and have set up direct deposit with the IRS, you could see the money as early as January 2025. That's just around the corner. The IRS has already started processing payments, so if you filed your 2023 taxes early and the IRS has your bank details, expect to get that money pretty quickly directly deposited into your account. But if you're not set up for direct deposit, don't worry. The IRS will be mailing out paper checks and debit cards starting in February 2025. While paper checks will take a little longer to arrive, it's important to keep an eye on your mailbox and watch out for that stimulus check envelope. Just remember, it may take a few extra weeks for that paper check to arrive, so be patient. Now, here's a big question: who is eligible for this stimulus check? In previous rounds, the eligibility rules were a little complicated, but the guidelines this time around are pretty straightforward. If you're an American citizen or permanent resident and you filed your taxes for 2023, you're likely eligible so long as you meet the income requirements. For single filers, the income limit is $75,000 or less. If you're filing as a married couple, the combined income should not exceed $150,000. For those filing as head of household, the limit is $112,500. If your income is above these thresholds, you may still receive a reduced payment, but the amount decreases gradually as your income increases. This ensures that those who need it most are getting the full $1,400, while still offering some assistance to middle-income households. But that's not all. Just like the previous stimulus checks, you can also get additional funds for dependents. If you have children or other qualifying dependents under your care, you'll receive an extra $1,400 for each dependent. This is a major benefit for parents and caregivers who've had to shoulder the extra financial burdens brought on by rising costs. So, if you're a parent, you could be looking at a significant check depending on how many dependents you have. Make sure to update your information with the IRS if there's any change in your dependents or household situation before they process the payment. What if you're receiving Social Security benefits? Don't worry, you are still eligible for the stimulus check. Whether you receive Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, Supplemental Security Income, SSI, or retirement benefits, you won't be left out. The IRS has confirmed that recipients of Social Security benefits will automatically receive their stimulus checks, even if they don't typically file taxes. So, if you're on Social Security, you don't need to take any extra steps. Your payment will come through the same channels as previous years, either via direct deposit or paper check, depending on how you've received other payments. Now, you might be wondering, how do I check if I'm getting my payment? The IRS has made it easier than ever to track your stimulus check. They've set up a Get My Payment tool on their website where you can track your payment status and check if you're eligible. This tool will give you real-time updates on your stimulus payment, including the payment method and the date it's expected to arrive. If you're not sure about your eligibility, this is a quick and easy way to check, so definitely use it to confirm your status. Just head over to the IRS website and enter your details: your Social Security number, your date of birth, and your address. It'll then let you know whether or not you'll be receiving a payment and when. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about some tips to make the most out of your stimulus check. First, file your taxes on time if you haven't already. The IRS will use your 2023 tax return to determine your eligibility, so if you filed late, it might take a little longer for the payment to process. Second, make sure your direct deposit information is up to date. If you've changed bank accounts or haven't updated the IRS with your new details, you may experience delays in receiving your payment. The direct deposit method is always faster, so it's definitely worth setting up if you haven't already. It's also a good idea to check if you missed any previous stimulus payments. If you didn't receive the full amount for the earlier rounds of stimulus checks, you can claim the recovery rebate credit on your 2023 tax return. This allows you to catch up on any payments you missed. So, if you were shortchanged in past years, you might be able to claim that extra money now. I know many of you are wondering, will the government come after me for this money? Absolutely not. The stimulus check is not taxable. It's not considered income, so you won't have to pay taxes on it when filing for 2025. However, if you owe back child support, the IRS could garnish your payment to cover that debt. In most cases, though, the check will go directly to you with no strings attached. As we head into 2025, it's important to note that this stimulus check is part of a broader effort to ensure Americans are able to recover from the lingering effects of economic hardship. The goal is to provide relief to individuals and families who are still feeling the effects of inflation, job losses, and other economic disruptions. Whether you plan on using the check for everyday expenses, saving for a rainy day, or paying off debt, the extra cash is meant to make life just a little bit easier. But what if you're someone who didn't get the check in the past? Maybe you didn't qualify for earlier rounds or you had issues with your previous payments. Well, don't worry, because the IRS is offering plenty of avenues for those who might have missed out. The IRS has a hotline, and they encourage individuals to reach out if they didn't get their payments in previous years. If you didn't get a previous stimulus check and you believe you were eligible, it's still possible to get that money back through the recovery rebate credit when filing your taxes. There's one final thing to note. If you've had any major life changes in the last couple of years, like getting married, having a baby, or even losing a job, you should update your information with the IRS. These changes could affect your eligibility or the amount of money you're entitled to receive. So if you haven't already updated your status, it's a good time to do so. So, let's wrap it up. This $1,400 stimulus check is a major step toward financial relief for millions of Americans. If you qualify, don't forget to file your taxes, set up direct deposit, and stay on top of any updates. I hope you found this information helpful and that you're now feeling more confident about getting your payment. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest financial news. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and stay financially smart.